We're doing it.
Let's do it.
Live?
We are live, yes.
Oh, neat.
Hello.
Oh, hey.
Welcome to Mayday Roleplay. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. We're all gathering together because we miss Ashoka and we just want to talk more about it. So we decided
Especially this week.
Especially this
Yeah.
week.
Especially this week.
It's been a long week for us, but we're all coming together to hash about our 12-part episode of Ashoka Precious Cargo. And with me is, as always, my friends from Mayday. Say hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
So
Hi, everybody.
we collected questions from around our Patreon, around our Twitter space, from our friends who have come to know and love the show, and yeah. Should we just get started?
Yeah, I
Who
can't
wants
wait
to go first?
Start answering these.
Do it.
Yeah, well, I'll just throw up the first question then, which is from Seems Like Emily from Patreon, and she asks, can you each go through how you came about creating what inspired your characters for Ashoka?
Oh.
Who wants to go first?
Shall we roll for it?
Ooh.
I have dice, I have dice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Go
good.
for it,
Okay,
DM.
Yeah, Eli, roll it out.
We don't know what the numbers represent yet.
Well, I guess like if I'm looking at the layout screen that we're currently showing to our beautiful people who are watching us, Zakia's 1, I'm 2, Amanda's 3, Allegra's 4, Caleb's 5, Aaron's 6.
Rockin'.
Okay.
Oh, I thought we were gonna just roll d20s and whoever got lowest.
Oh, we could do that too.
That's
4, so that's...
Oh, that's
Allegra.
me.
That's Allegra.
Shodi. I don't actually really remember how it came about. I think I knew I wanted to be a caster at least a little bit because I tend toward martial just because I get nervous with spells and feel like I'm gonna like mess something up. So I was like, okay, no, this is time I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna go. But then of course I crossed with rogue because I wanted a little bit of assurance that I can do other things, especially because Shodi is a little bit afraid of their abilities. And so I wanted them to have like a little bit of agency outside of the magic that they're sometimes nervous to use. And then I chose wild magic because I think wild magic's fun and it's cool and the chaos is great. I like making my DM stressed. And I didn't ever get to a subclass for rogue because I just had 2 levels in it. And I chose Goliath because I'm very not tall in real life, and I desperately wanted to be tall, so I decided I was going to be the tallest person on this team. Yeah, that's kind of how that came about. And then I talked to Eli about like backstory stuff of like, okay, are Goliaths a thing in Ashoka, and then the idea of like the school that they went to, and so another kind of backstory thing is like they aren't Odinawan or Sasanian. They were kind of an outlier. But obviously they don't like Sasan now because of everything that happened with the school they went to. So yes, someone else talk now.
Who did you
Oh,
call
no, go-
someone?
No, you can go, Serge. You wanna go?
Rad, actually, I had thought of having a warlock that is like tied to the sea before I even met everyone here at Mayday. I wanted to create this thing, and I did like the idea of it being a turtle. So when Eli brought up the campaign, I was like, oh, this is cool. This is a chance for me to use this warlock idea I have. So I wanted something very sea related, and there wasn't anything in the player's handbook. So I said, can I take these 2 homebrews? There's a Kraken warlock, and there's a dragon turtle warlock. And I said, could I throw like a couple of these things together? I wanted to have a swimming speed and that kind of stuff. And thank God Eli trusted me enough to be like, all right, I don't know if this is balanced, but we'll give it a try. And really all I wanted to do was I just wanted to play the Silver Surfer. Rad
I got Michelangelo.
is
So
just the
good.
Silver Surfer, and I really Eli, I don't think Hamu Keppa was kind of part of the bigger lore yet, so I really was excited to add a little bit to the world of Ashoka with Hamu Keppa. So
You really are. You like even have your own Galactus.
Yes.
Like, your
Oh,
Yep.
that's right.
I
That
surf. I
So
surf.
much sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
totally
That's
just got Ninja Turtle from it. I did not think
Sure,
so.
that's the most
I
obvious
was
reference.
like Michelangelo.
And that's definitely a reference, but it's not the main reference behind Rad.
Eater of worlds.
Yeah,
eater of
I just
ships.
like the idea of a chaotic good warlock who had a lawful evil patron. Warlocks are just so
Yeah.
much fun. There's so much flavor to them. So
Yeah.
I nominate
Somebody, Serge.
Caleb.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, I like that popcorn.
Okay, so for Anchor, a lot of it was merit fatigue, and I nearly say Delta Green fatigue, but it really was merit fatigue. I was coming off of playing a character that was so rooted in insecurity, of not knowing, of not understanding, of not seeing, that I wanted to play someone that was capable and felt strong and knew what to say and knew what to do. But I also fell in love with this concept of Sisan versus Odinau and what it means to come from a place you do not respect, what it means to be a part of something that is inherently evil. Merit is a story like that too, where he is coming from a root in toxic masculinity and this idea of merit-based societies of being powerful. Anchor's the same way. He comes from a terrible fucking place, but he's a good fucking person. And so I wanted to embrace that. And I had been watching a lot of old samurai flicks. I had been playing the game Ghost of Tsushima around the same time. And I was falling in love with this idea of, man, nobody plays the fucking samurai subclass of fighter. Like, I never see it. And I have no idea what it does, whether it's actually viable. And I wanted to give it a try. And so I ended up coming up with this idea of like, well, what do you do if you come from this terrible place and you find somewhere that actually needs your help? And, it came about that I put together the Order of Ballast, and that became this idea of finding a way to deal with your home without glorifying or celebrating it and embracing the new one. So it was a lot of like, how can I play something entirely different? And dad jokes. So.
Yes.
Zach, I want to hear about Kenny.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So as always, something really heavy and then something really stupid. Because Ashoka like read so quickly as like this campaign is about just super chill stuff like deconstructing colonialism, lighthearted fun, that kind of thing. So I wanted to make a character that like had no idea where the fuck they came from, and it never really comes up. Like an Aasimar cleric kind of lends itself to writing a lot of like heavenly lore, and it was like, no, she has no sense of history. She's just kind of vibing out here, and maybe that'll change, maybe it won't. But sort of like what happens to a person when they don't know where they come from, and how can that like affect their personality? And she doesn't really give a fuck about a lot of things. I mean, by the end of the campaign that changes, but like a lot of that is that. But also, I really love Kenny Ortega, and that's why her name is Kenny. And that's it.
So good.
That's it.
I still am so floored that I did not know she was.
Yeah.
Or they were a fucking Asimir until we finished
Yeah.
recording.
When we found out about that, I just sat like in my apartment all day staring at the wall.
I was blinded by Kenny. Like that whole scene happened, and I still went, "Ah, that's a funky cleric, huh?"
That's exactly the experience that I was thinking about. It's like when you connect your history and all of the shit clicks together, but until then it's like, okay, bright girl. Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will nominate Amanda.
Okay. Snaval came like similar to Caleb, where I was just like, I felt like Boomer was a lot and loud and very like in your face, not at all based off of me, because it was just the easiest thing to build. So I was just like, all right, let's just go ahead and do something almost the exact opposite. I was like, what if I have someone who actually thinks before they do shit?
What?
So
The only
So
brain.
that's, and I've always wanted to play a dragon. I don't know. That I felt bad for you,
No.
Zach. I was like, I want to play a dragon, but I don't feel confident enough to do spell casting. Bleh. So, but I don't want to do fighter. So I thought I monk. Didn't realize there was a lot more mechanics to it. So I just spent like a whole 2 weeks just reading it nonstop. And I was just like, oh, this is cool. And then I decided to do like kind of a darker kind of person where it was just like they deal with like kind of like they're more neutral, but it's like life and death, and they don't see death as the enemy. They're just like that's just part of life and all that kind of. I was like, that would be an interesting take on something that I don't know. I didn't see anything like that. I thought it'd be like a different kind of character from what Boomer was, because I would think it'd be very interesting if Boomer and Snowball were just ever in the same room. Never mind the dragon shit, that would blow her mind, but it would be like, huh, tell me more. Like I just think that'd be very interesting. And I named it after my puppy. I just wanted, because I knew Aaron would
I
call
didn't know
me
that.
Snowball at one point, and that's my old dog's name. So
Oh,
just
okay. I was
like,
gonna
"Aw."
say you named a dog Snooval, but all right.
But I know Aaron, and I'm like, this guy's gonna do something where he just butchers names, and I'm
Ah.
like, how can I get him to say Snowball? Snowball. That'll do it.
I'm happy to oblige.
So I think I should just go ahead and lead it off. And Aaron, tell me about Trig.
Oh, so Trig was an Adventure League character I did for a while. When I first moved to LA, I did like Adventure League, I kid you not, 3-4 times a week because I just had nothing else to do. And I came up with Trig for like an Avernus campaign or something, I think. And he was a little more like subdued then because I was with strangers and I was kind of shy. But like, you know, like I some of the crazier elements started to pop. But then when we were doing Ashoka, I figured that pirate cowboy fit into a pirate outlaw cowboy, pirate outlaw vigilante cowboy. Fit well.
Yeah.
Keep adding. Let's go.
Yeah.
Continue adding hyphens. Fit really well into Ashoka. And then I was watching Archer, and I was like, what if Archer was a cowboy? And then that was Trig.
So good. My favorite thing though is like Aaron sent me an actual like audition tape of Trig, and that was my introduction to Trig. Was like a 30-second video of his whole just like Trig. He's like, "Can I do this?" I was like, "Yeah."
No, wait a minute. Was this like Aaron like posing with guns and stuff? Like, what was this
I
audition?
can't remember. I think it was just his full accent, just like just saying the craziest thing. I have it somewhere buried in our conversations.
Can
Maybe
you
we'll
put
post
that
it.
in the Discord at least?
And
Yeah.
I believe I was dressed like a cowboy too.
Yeah. I think you had a hat on. Yeah.
Did a full remote LARP and didn't tell me.
What I love about that is that's just Aaron trying to get like photo evidence that he was allowed to do this in case it came up later.
That's true. It was insurance.
Aaron,
Yeah,
my
it was
mom-
insurance.
I'll also point out that I wrote a computer program to do Trig's levels.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's right, I forgot about that.
I knew it was too good to be true. I was like, this is like perfectly built character.
Freaking Aaron.
It is possible. It is possible within the vanilla 5e rules to get 7 attacks, and I found that way.
Ow! I always wondered, how
Jay
did you
told
do
me
that?
about that. Yeah.
Well, it's not like I can do it every turn. You know, you get the one, like, you can only do it once
mega
in
turn.
like
Yeah,
a short
yeah.
rest, but it's still 7 attacks, which is how did they allow that to happen?
Darling,
think-
you figured it out.
You found a way
I just
to
hope
do it.
I just hope that Wizards of the Coast changes some rules because of me.
Well, yeah. That's what I was gonna say. That's how they allow it. They weren't thinking of the Aaron contingency when they wrote 5e. Like,
That's what being
Yeah.
the change you want to see in the world means.
yeah.
All right, so Aaron, you were the last one to answer, so why don't you ask the next question? Do you have the questions or
Ooh.
no?
I got 'em.
Okay,
It's in the chat.
Okay.
second question.
Yes. How did everyone choose their class character builds?
Ooh.
What backstory went into character concepts that never came up?
Oh,
Oh,
can't share all of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Ah,
we can share
backstory.
oh, I'll
You
spill
could
the tea. I don't
probably
give a
share
shit.
some.
Ah,
Backstory.
backstory.
Constantly afraid of
That's
Mayday.
that's our motto. That's the Mayday motto. Is backstory.
The excuse to get out of talking about things.
Mhm.
Emotions. Just go back. Go
All right,
ahead,
so
Aaron.
answer it, Aaron.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess I kind of did. I a little bit. I answered the first part. I knew I wanted to be a battle master fighter and a ranger because I thought that fit like the sharpshooter cowboy thing really well. I didn't want to do like a gunslinger or anything. I kind of like the crossbow cowboy concept. So I knew that. And then I wrote this big long MATLAB script that basically just chewed through like the ranger and the fighter class and just picked the optimal ratio of battle master to ranger, and that's how I did that. Backstory elements about Trig that never came up. He's from a town called Nowhere, way out on like the bottom right hand corner of the map, and I really wanted someone to ask me where I was from so I could be like nowhere.
That'd have been a long
that I
ass
know that,
conversation.
I was just so good though. I've heard of
I
that
mean,
place.
that's obviously why you name a town Nowhere, so that all of your population can say that.
I thought Thanos
Yeah.
destroyed it.
Hilarious. Incredible.
All right, so pass it on, Aaron. Who's
Call it out.
answers the next one?
Amanda.
Oh, okay. We'll go back. A character class build monk, Way of the Long Death, because I wanted to be a spooky bish. This one, I wanted to deal with death in this one.
Everyone
In a
wants their
nicer way.
turn at the spooky bish wheel.
This family
I
loves
know.
the spooky bitches.
Mhm.
Eat it.
And also, I kind of looked ahead. I just want to get to the part where I can like touch people and like necrotic damage happen. That's where I was just like, I want that. I really want.
Yeah.
Okay, that's build backstory. Backstory. Snoovy. Eli came up with the best character for Snowball to have a connection to, which was like a part of their order. And can you say the lovely name, please?
Oh, no, because that's
No.
for something later.
Damn it! Oh, see, that's why I got it.
Yes.
Interesting.
The name is-
Backstory.
the name is so good. I cackled so hard when I saw this, and it's
Well,
very on point.
I
That's
really
all.
like the monk because I haven't had a chance to play it, and I got to do a one shot, so I built it, and I was like, oh fuck, why not? So now it's a
So
part of
you
the world.
put this monk that you created for a one shot as a character that is connected to Snooval?
I just built the character for Ashoka and just utilized it as a one shot because I didn't. I haven't played monk before yet, so I wanted to run a monk class. But it ended up becoming a backstory to Man's character, and we'll talk about it soon.
Nice.
Sorry.
Mhm.
All right. Who got me? I can't remember. Was it
I
Leg?
tagged you.
Oh, no, Zach. Go.
Oh, okay.
We're
sorry.
gonna go backwards.
Boy. Okay, yeah. Kenny Ortega is a musical man. He almost exclusively does musical movies. So I had a dumb thing at the beginning where I was going to try to work in as many High School Musical songs into her speech as possible. Quickly lost the plot.
I'm so glad that fell by the
Incredible.
wayside.
I wish you'd done it.
I
It's-
would not
it's-
have gotten it. I
It's
would've
on
caught
her
on.
like intro packet. Is like she's going to try to bring as many as she can. There's a reason why. Sorry, my dog is being a good boy.
He's just so excited to hear all this
Protect.
great Ashoka behind the scenes stuff.
He
Yeah.
knows it's your turn.
Way.
Yeah, he gee, I lost my train of thought. Hold on.
High School
We
Musical.
were talking about your
Gee,
build,
yeah,
your
we were-
class character build.
Yes, cleric is a comfort class. Always. But yeah, there's a reason why she doesn't work where she worked before, like why she's traveling, and we never covered it. Maybe we will.
Is
Okay.
it backstory that will come out later?
Ah,
Yeah.
backstory.
Keep your secrets.
Someone spill some
But-
tea.
It is also music themed slightly. Like one of the character names is just a song that I turned into a person's name. And I cannot wait to talk about him, but that's it.
Someday.
We'll. Oh shit! Are we going backwards? If we're on
Whatever
the
you
game-
want.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, like I said before, I was watching a lot of old samurai flicks and playing samurai games, and so it just made sense. Also, I knew that Aaron had already took the cowboy archetype.
Oh, because
And I
you were like about to do a cowboy?
I was so close to doing a cowboy that I had originally planned for when we were a million years ago going to do an Eberron game.
You both do know that we were in a like a South Pacific themed game.
Thank you.
I don't know what it was. It was like, I don't know. It just made sense. I was like, the one white guy plays the cowboy. It's perfect.
Historically,
Um,
cowboys were not very many of them were white.
Well,
Yes,
no,
that's
They're
no.
mostly indigenous or black or Mexican.
That is not at all what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say playing to the spaghetti western
Right.
stereotype of what a cowboy is, right?
I know. I'm
The
fucking with you, bub.
Clint Eastwood character. I'm not saying like an actual cowboy. That's what Anchor is this fucking weird archetype of the lone soldier that wanders into town and fixes your problems. And so that was the inspiration for the subclass. And then backstory. Well, he had an old crew and he lost it, and hopefully that comes up eventually. But bad people from there, and
I
he,
feel
he
like
had to come to Oda now somehow.
I feel like we were brushing against that, but we never quite addressed it in game.
Yeah.
We really were. Let me tell you, when those ships started to show up right before we went in that portal, I was sweating a little bit. I was sweating.
Oh my god.
Who's left? Leg.
Search Me. Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Class. So yeah, I kind of touched on class. And also I'm realizing as you guys are saying like it's boomer fatigue and merit fatigue, I was having a little bit of tuck fatigue too of like I have to be in charge of things and I don't want to be in charge of things anymore.
Yes.
I don't want to think. I want to have head empty, no thoughts, soft, giant. And then I guess backstory. What can I say? Oh, Kenny, the person that you sorry, Zakia, not Kenny.
You responded just fine.
We're in Ashoka mode right now.
Yeah.
The guy that you had drown himself
Mhm.
had been going after Shodi for literal years. He was from the school that they ran away from.
Oh, wow.
And he'd been like coming after them because they were a pretty big asset within the school and within like Sasan. And so he was on that ship, and I bamped back into reality, saw him, and was like, fuck. And then you had him drown himself, and I wrote in my notes, go hug Kenny as soon as you can, and I never had a chance to go hug you. But it was in my head of like, go hug
Interesting.
Kenny. And it was also like I talked about their dad, who I never was going to refer to as their dad, and then I said my dad in character, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm gonna call him my dad. Cool, this is something to unpack later. And I guess maybe I can go back to him. I don't think I can go back to him now completely, but like it's less dangerous for me to go back to him, so that's cool. But who knows? Who knows? I have other things to do. Rad. Jesus, Sergio.
Yeah. My character build, I don't really like to multi-class because it really annoys me when I don't get that thing that comes at the next level, but I've already multi-classed. So I just always stick with. I went 13 levels of Warlock, whatever level we were at. And
You're at 8.
oh yeah, 8. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
no.
I
You
went
went for my one
13
shot.
Warlock,
I
like you said.
desperately wanted to be at level 13. But in terms of his backstory, I'm one of the lucky ones of us that my backstory was kind of brought out and it feels like there was somewhat of an arc for Rad. Who knows what he's going to go into next? But I don't have too much backstory. It's a shame we never got to meet my tribe because I don't even know what they would be like. But yeah, like most of my backstory was talked about and dealt with in the first half of the campaign, so it was fun.
I don't know what multiple rads would be like, but fuck, that
Fun.
island's gonna be a trip.
So
Family,
good.
Like,
So good.
dude, it
I-
would be so amazing if we could see like all your cousins and your bras.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That would be great. That would be fantastic.
It would be a good time. Somebody once said, like, as a DM, you should try to get past all of your players' like character motivations, like those basic like thrusts for their narrative. And Eli did that for me, and I've never had a DM really kind of do that for me, so I really appreciated and enjoyed it. Like, oh, this is what it's like to write out an arc for a character. It was really cool. And then,
That means you're up
is
next.
that everyone? Is that everyone?
I think that was
That
everybody.
was everybody.
Yeah,
Okay.
So you're the last one, so you get to ask the question.
I get to ask the question from Ladybug, our friend on Patreon. They ask,
You didn't chat.
were there any character friendships or alliances that popped up while playing that were unexpected for the players? I'll start by saying I was not expecting to. Well, I wasn't expecting to piss everybody off, and I wasn't expecting for Kenny to hate me as much as they did. That really bothered Rad.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think I actually realized as I was playing the character that Rad is just desperate for acceptance. So I just kept playing that up, where he was just constantly trying to impress everybody. A very kind of, immature thing. But I was like, this is just who this guy is turning out to be. Alliance, I knew Anchor and Rad would get along. I'm not surprised that Trig and Rad didn't necessarily get along. They're kind of two opposite ends of the chaotic spectrum.
Mhm.
I was kind of surprised that Snooval and I got along. We made a surfboard together.
Yes, we did.
Speaking of Amanda, what's your thoughts on that question?
I will say I did get a little jealous and brushed off as soon as Alexodon got in the view, or that rabbit, and I'm like, excuse me, why are you trying to impress them? I've been by your side defending your ass. You know what?
He's just a
You
people
bro.
pleaser, yeah.
Correct.
Wow.
He
Yeah.
has flaws.
Did not like that. I to be very honest, Snooval doesn't really have a lot of friends, so it was very kind of like they didn't know how to interact a little bit, and they may have come off awkward as fuck, which was like me in middle school, so that's where it was easy to slip into.
Yes.
I will say I adored how Kenny freed Snooval's braid.
Yes.
Yes.
That I remember I was just like, oh, that's amazing. And I was just like, that is just very organic, natural. Rad, I would say, I think I asked my God to be like, do I like this guy? And you're like, I'm like, all right, I'll cover his ass. So I was like kind of protective, but like, she has like a very good respect. I would say she's very amused by Trig. She thinks of him as like a puppy. And I think there's a couple times I just hold you and I say,
Yeah.
oh, you're gonna
Yeah.
be like a puppy. Like
You
that.
you literally scruff him a couple times.
Yeah.
That I would say, but yeah, no, all like familiar kind of like it's weird because I would say she's still trying to figure out what like friend is, like do we just sit on a boat or we talk about shit? I can cook. Like you saw her, she tried to cook and try to do things. May not have always worked, but yeah.
It's very sweet.
Ooh, okay. Let's see. Who is Caleb? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Any alliances? Or-
So I was on the negative side of the spectrum. I was so excited for Anchor and Trig. I did not see us coming into such conflict at the end, because up until that moment it was pretty close. Like
Ooh,
I really enjoyed our dynamic of Anchor was just sort of letting this guy figure out whatever he was gonna do your thing, build your boat. Like, I'm gonna protect you, you're gonna protect me, and we were both sort of gelling on that. And God, it just broke my heart to have that moment at the end. So that was definitely like a right cross. Unexpected alliances. I know that we were already pretty tight in Doom to Repeat, but I didn't think that Anchor and Kenny were going to get along as well as they did.
Yeah.
And then they had that beautiful moment in the forest, and that's one of my favorite parts of the season, is both of them sort of ironing out what identity is to the both of them. And I love that moment. And I also thought we had a lot of great moments of mutual Sasanian hatred between me and Shouty.
Mhm.
And
Oh yeah.
I think that was needed. I totally saw the Rad and Anchor working together, and that was no surprise to me. But I think Kenny was the big, wow, oh man, this is happening. That's really cool. Let me think. Let's go to Aaron. Aaron, what are you thinking, man?
Oh, I don't think there was any for me anything unexpected. I mean,
No?
I knew that
New.
I knew that people were either gonna hate Trig or love him, and there was gonna be no in between.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that was weird, I didn't expect Trig to have so much conflict with people.
Yeah.
That's what I didn't even there was I think about halfway through when we were on that island or whatever, and shortly after the bear napping.
Yeah.
Plan
I,
B.
I heard the angry words coming out of my mouth, and I was like, wait, what's happening right now?
That's always good.
I think otherwise everything went about as I expected it to.
Now, wait,
I
Aaron,
didn't expect. I will say I didn't expect Trig the not like Rad so much. That
Yeah.
I really
Oh.
wanted. I really wanted Trig the like Rad. I think.
Yeah.
I think Zakia hasn't gone yet.
oh, yeah. Okay. I don't know. I think, yeah, the, Serge, you touched on it, the sort of heat that Kenny brought to Rad, that was entirely I was not ready to hate Rad, but the breaking of the contract was that's kind of the one
Right.
thing.
Right. That was
So
that
it's
would maybe put you over the edge. I felt because you've probably been double crossed before, but
Yeah, that was literally the only okay, fine, fuck this guy.
mhm.
But after that, I wrote in my notes, I was like, you gotta fix this really quick, because I felt so bad. I felt so bad after. Naturally, my sweet son. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just
Dogs in the
Okay.
chat. Dogs in the chat.
Yeah.
Let me see some
Sorry,
dogs in the
gang.
chat. Okay.
He's such a good boy.
I think I liked the sort of, and most of it has actually happened off mic, but the relationship that Shodi and Kenny have as the teens on the team is my favorite. Let's see. Oh yeah, Suval, the golden team, absolutely. I think when you said Suval doesn't really know how to friend, Kenny is on the opposite side of the spectrum in that she also doesn't know how to friend, but she's super willing to pretend as long as it takes. Be like, of course people braid each other's hair and give them coins for it. I know this one. So yeah, that. I wish I had more time with Trig, but it was a lot of just watching. I feel like Kenny cares about Trig by watching him before he does something bad and telling someone else. He's about to do it. Fullness of it. Yeah, there was a lot of. I didn't really start thinking about Kenny and Anchor until a lot of combat, where because Anchor's mechanics work really well next to someone, and you would be like, well, Anchor's gonna find Kenny and be there, and be like, you keep being here. Should I start paying attention? And yes. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right. So ask the next question, Zakia.
Oh yes.
Number 4,
okay.
I think.
Yeah. So it seems like Emily from Patreon asks, who was y'all's favorite NPC besides Baran? Because that feels like cheating. It is cheating. She's the best.
And I agree.
That's our kid.
Non-Baron.
Favorite NPC?
I don't know. The Lexodon, which thanks for this, Eli. That was actually one of my favorites, to be honest.
Yeah.
Basul.
Basul was cool.
Basul's great.
I'm gonna be terrible and forget his name, but the sea captain that saved us,
Bede.
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 Bede
I think
Yeah, it was cool.
Anchor had a big crush on that dude. I love that guy to pieces.
I had a crush on Rain.
Rain was
I was
awesome.
just
Right.
Rain's cool.
Rain.
She's super neat. I want her to stay around. Oh no.
I like that
Rainbow
poor nanny that got grilled to shit.
And then died, and then she fucking died.
No, wait, are we talking about the nanny at the very end where
Yeah,
The
Zoe
very
and
yeah,
end.
she
Very
was-
end.
Naval were like,
Showed
just
up
got-
wanted
Just
you.
to
That was like
babysit.
read her.
20 minutes of grilling.
And died.
You gotta leave my
And then it doesn't even work out. Like it's for fucking. For
this
what?
poor woman, this poor elvish woman comes and she's like, I'm going to take care of this very important Air Genasi child. And she comes into the room and there's a Goliath and a golden dragon just standing there berating her
Mad.
essentially.
Yeah.
And then she dies in the
I'm so
only attack
mad.
ever on this island that doesn't exist.
Well, you know what? It happens. Whoops.
Sometimes you're just not cut out for the job.
She didn't protect our kids, so like
Or she
know what?
died
I've got-
trying.
Better her than the
didn't
kid.
do it.
I got one more. I don't even know if it counts, but Hamu Keppa was fucking
Oh.
insane.
Real cool. That dog is real cool.
Oh my
That counts.
god.
Hamu Keppa was cool. He's memorable. I feel like I'm gonna probably steal him if I ever do something like a pirate campaign or something. It's pretty evocative because I had talked with Eli for a long time about what I imagine it as like a turtle so big that like you just assumed it was like an island and there was probably stuff growing on his back and stuff. So it was just really evocative and cool. And Eli came up with the name, I believe, and a bunch of other
Yeah.
cool stuff about it. So Hamu Keppa was very memorable for sure.
Yeah. And he's in our future. I can feel it.
Mm.
Like,
Oh,
We
I
kill
love that bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Battle of the Gods. I got a feeling it's gonna be like Clash of the Titans. We're all the mini players, but then we'll see like above. We'll see all the gods fighting.
There
over
are a
us.
lot of gods in this campaign.
We gotta kill a god.
We
We
do.
gotta kill a torch queen. We gotta destroy a navy. There's a lot of big shit for us to do.
Murder.
hey yo, fuck this fucking queen.
We gotta
I'm ready
find all
to
the like
destroy the
people
torch
who
queen
are
right now.
pieces or something.
So we have another one from our good friend Lex at Titanomachy, and they ask, y'all's chemistry is instantly obvious, but you hadn't met in person yet. How did y'all click so well? Was it just because you had already done Arc 1 of Doom to Repeat?
Man.
I mean, I guess we'd all. I mean, not all of us at that point. We'd met sort of in person once at the really old audition, and then. But also, if we don't talk to each other for a day, it's weird and
Yeah.
incorrect.
Like, I think we genuinely talk both individually and as a group to each other each day. Like it's an
Yeah.
insane amount of communication where it became instantly known that we were going to be friends besides working together, right from the bat.
At least after the thing.
After
After the thing. We don't have to get
after
into
the split.
I keep going back to when you get a bunch of people in a room who all effectively want the same thing. They have similar goals. It's just like you put... Fortunately, we all get along personality-wise, but
Yeah.
sometimes even
Yes.
then when you might clash with somebody, you still kind of put that stuff to the side to focus on whatever you're working on. And thank God we're also a bunch of people that we like to get along with and have fun with and stuff. So it was a combination of it was right from the beginning, and also, yeah, I do think Doom to Repeat helped. We certainly broke boundaries amongst each other, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
And I mean, like,
yeah.
above all that, we're just a bunch of fucked up nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
I mean,
true.
it was the heart of the panoramic, so any social interaction was
Yeah.
charged. We're like, yes,
Yeah.
let's talk about anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
And I think because we did, even before we even recorded Doom to Repeat, we had nights where we would just get on Zoom just to get because I remember we were trying to get comfortable, put stuff in the past, but also kind of just like be
Vibe.
fun,
Yeah.
drink our concoctions and all that and just play
Water.
stupid games, and just that really helped. I felt like because Doom is a very heavy subject. It's very heavy, especially this season. But
you
like,
don't know the half of it.
Oh, that's season 2. It's rough, guys.
This is
Season
gonna
2
be
is
great.
this
rough.
is this
It's
is
really kind.
PTSD in action right now. Go ahead.
It's
Yeah.
really just a really long conference meeting. We're all in our homes.
Yeah.
Season 2 will
My
is like Infinity War done fuck you up. Just FYI the whole way. But
my therapist knows Sergio by fucking name. At this point.
Save it for the arc
The
2
next
wrap up.
debrief.
Yeah, the next
The arc
debrief.
2.
I also think part of it was that we did. I think the arc of D2R helped, but the one shot we did before that,
Yes.
that was also Delta Green, was so, because that's the first time we all got to play like together, just us. And it was, and
Right.
we were fucking idiots during it. Like we didn't play smart or anything. We played because we knew it was going to be a one shot and it was going to be fun. And so it was
Yeah.
so like nice to feel that, and then go to Doom to Repeat where we think and we're like analyzing and we're
Well,
cautious and everything.
Thank
And then to
you.
come back to this and kind of get back to that idea of, okay, like the first game we fucked around, let's fuck around a little bit. And like it still was really important to us and we had a lot of stakes in it, but like it was still it was a lot more fuck around than D2R was, which I really liked.
Yeah.
D&D
And-
just lends itself to that kind of fun, you know.
I was gonna say Revivify is a 3rd level spell. You don't lose your entire shit when you cast it.
Right.
So it's really
Right.
it's fine.
It's like, guys, we made this into like Fast and Furious mixed with Pirates of the Caribbean. We drifted. I
we
was like,
did.
yes,
We made
all
family,
the
goddammit.
tropes.
So good.
Lex at Titanomachy also asked, how many death gods are there and who is the most powerful, Eli?
mine.
Like, lore drop right
Mine.
now. Lore drop us.
There are many death gods.
Limos was kind of one, no?
Yeah.
Limos is
Yeah.
one. Limos is a type of death god. You met Taka, which was the Walravian death god, and then
Mhm.
Snaval had what is it? Kelimvor is a part of the Monastery of the Eternal Scale and who they technically serve. But there are a bunch of death gods in there. In terms of like strength and power, I don't know. I would say
Mine.
Limos is probably one of the strongest ones. I would say Kelimvor has its place. It's like, you know, we haven't really like tested that yet. So
You need to have an all-out Ashoka God of War.
yeah.
Now,
Oh.
now
Also,
why?
you're like, my god's better than yours.
Why are there so many
Yeah.
death gods? Is it just kind of
I have a just a multifaceted like fascination with death, I guess. And I believe that there are just different sides of it and different ways we respond to it. So I feel like there are different gods. You know, different cultures also have different aspects of how gods are represented. So I wanted that. Like, Tuka came out of a different campaign where my dude was a zealot barbarian that's where the finger came into the rituals and stuff like that. So that's where Tuka was kind of built out of that. And that relationship with like war and dying like valiantly in battle. But Snaval brought Kelimvor in as a form of like looking at judgment and how people are weighed, their life is weighed by their actions and choices and their nature. Limos is of something much deeper and much interesting about like how we respond like to death and like the pain and suffering that comes before it and after it, and having is, you know, it's a powerful emotion that would bring something to like sentient life. So yeah, so that's kind of why there's so many. And you know, I'm also an asshole and I don't like to just have people death save, so you know, so I might as well find a interesting way to make it a little bit more interesting, because I didn't want Rad to die also. So you know, and
I was
Limos came out
ready. I was ready.
Yeah. Ironically, Limos came out of something from an earlier campaign with a different warlock turtle.
Ah, interesting.
So and like the goal of Limos and all of that stuff came out of something different that was integrated into lore, that I was really glad that we could bring it up. I was actually hoping one of you would go and die. So that was, I wasn't trying to kill you, but it would have been great, you know. And I'm glad
was
glad it just worked out.
this close. I remember to dying, and I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
you were
shit.
super.
No, 'cause I
Yeah.
wasn't gonna. Because
You
Rad
got-
took the deal. Snaval wasn't. I'm like, I was already prepping. I'm like, okay, I played a monk. What else could I do? And I was
See, we-
already
we
ready.
Scooped you.
Yeah, you scoop. The scoop was great. Scoop was so such a good moment.
Wait, Eli, can I ask something?
Sure.
In the last episode, I got like bamfed for an amount of time that I don't know. And you said there was a thing in the distance. Was that also Limos?
Yeah, I was
'Cause
gonna say.
in my head, that
No,
was
that was a celestial snake.
Oh.
That was something different. We'll
Okay.
get into that later.
You want to talk about it? You want to talk
Yeah.
about it now?
Of course, it was a
Today.
celestial snake.
I have
Today,
I
not
have a
today.
question
Go
too.
ahead. Sure.
So Death has many gods. Are there
Mhm.
any other domains that also have a bunch of fucking gods behind it, like love or? I don't know.
Not even.
I don't know.
two.
You guys, you guys haven't really explored stuff. There's definitely a lot of ocean gods, I would say. Just because that's just natural. Like there's Talalok, which you guys have met. That's one of their acolytes, the Stormbirds. In the second episode, there are definitely other gods like that. Yeah, there's a bunch of shit.
So, on this train of thought, Meg, I believe, is a patron of ours. Hi, Meg. She
Meg.
asks, was Shouty's creepy wolf mask supposed to link to Limos later with Rad, or did that just work out?
Yeah, I mean, I just threw it in there as one of the tables for the Fang Festival because the Fang Festival is about paying tributes to gods, and Limos exists in the world in some tiny ass corner. But it wasn't necessarily for Rad. I didn't anticipate Rad per se. That arc was going to happen. That was something that came about us playing this entire game. But I left it there just in case. So somebody rolled it, and I it was great. It was just, I guess, a little foreshadowing, and it kind
Yeah.
of worked out.
Freaking dice,
Worked really
man.
well.
Yeah.
All right, Snooval, Amanda, why don't you ask question 6, I think? No, I'm sorry. Number 8.
Number 8. Lex from asked, did anyone have a backup characters or character they had trouble deciding between versus what they finally chose? That's interesting.
I was Rad all the way.
I'll be honest, I wish I was smart. No, I was straight up Snoopy.
I
That was it.
can't. It takes me like a million years to come up with a character. Like, you think I'm doing 2 of them?
But before I knew Trig existed, I had that cowboy concept, and then
You could have done
When
2
I-
cowboys.
yeah, but then I would have like wanted to write something into being connected to you, and part of me wanted us to have that stranger effect, and I didn't want to steal your thunder either. But I'm glad that you did, because I would have never found Anchor if you hadn't made Trig, and Trig is the way better concept compared to mine. Mine was Bear. But
Bear.
A bear
a
with
bear.
with guns.
with a
Very
with a cowboy
good
hat
for
on.
that cowboy hat.
And then in replacement, in case of Anchor died, I really fell in love with this concept that Eli has, that elves don't exist, or they do, and they're trapped behind this. And you guys know how much I fucking love elves.
We do.
And
We
so-
are
Yeah,
aware.
we do.
Yeah.
We know.
I wrote a replacement elven ranger that I was gonna shoot at Eli and be like, "Can't please, let me have a big old butt, please." Like,
Well,
That's
yep.
what it says right under the description of elves in the player's
Oh.
handbook.
Flapping
Ass.
cheeks.
First
Yeah.
sentence.
Whole ass.
We saw
I'm
those.
really sorry that me and Sergio made that a part of your elven lore.
We saw those claps cheeking on the island when we got there.
The glass chicken?
Allegro,
yeah.
why don't you answer
Or the
number
cheeseburger.
9?
You want me to ask number 9?
Yes, please.
All right. For the players who didn't stray, this is from Lex, also at Titanamaki on Twitter. For the players who didn't stray from the path in the Sultry Forest, what do you think your characters would have seen if they did?
Well, who didn't stray? I don't think Rad strayed.
I think it was just
Rad
me
didn't stray.
and Trig.
I don't think I did either.
I don't think I did.
I think it was Rad and Trig were the only two that didn't stray.
Ah,
I
Wait,
strayed.
no, Red or
For
Trig
real?
did.
I did.
I mean,
Trig
not Trig, Acre. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, what did I do? I
Snoop,
must have
Snooval didn't
repressed
either,
it.
I don't think.
I don't think so.
I try to
because I
avoid
coulda
that tree.
swore- I
Yeah, you
coulda
came
swore there
after
were
us.
3 of us that
Oh,
didn't, and
Snowball.
3 of
Yeah,
us
no.
that did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
no,
said
it
Snooval.
wasn't.
well,
So
if,
be Snowball, yeah, Anchor,
I don't know. I feel like this
Right.
is more of an Eli question, to be honest. But
Yeah.
I feel like I would just probably see my family or my tribe or whatever trying to convince me to stop what I was up to.
Yeah.
That's what I think I
Yeah.
would see.
Just
I was worried that I would either see my family, probably one of my brothers, or the fucking queen again. I thought that might be a possibility as well, because I don't know, but it was also centered around what you wanted, right? Like,
I was gonna
Or-
say, what are the
it-
rules of the tree again? My mind's blanking.
no, I mean you guys didn't. There was no rules. You guys
Yeah,
were
it-
seeing things like things you were missing, things you were remembering. They're part of your memories and stuff like
It-
that.
Oh.
It could have easily been that, and then if it was a positive thing, it might have been my father again. But we did see that moment in the dreams too.
It would have been like people who've been kicked out of my order.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Spice.
shit.
Yeah,
Nice.
Snowy didn't like. There was some dumb choices in the past. Oh, by the way, I just got to get this off my chest. Since when did I become the more intelligent one of that whole party? I was
You didn't dump it. You're the only one who
You're the
didn't
only
dump
one
it.
who didn't dump
it.
like my second biggest stat is intelligence, and I'm like, oh, but wait, I have Zach and I also have Sergio.
No,
Okay,
you don't. No, you
yeah,
don't.
no, I
No, you
learned very
don't.
quickly.
No,
I
no.
was just like, oh no, I'm the smart one.
How did you think I felt when everybody turned in a character sheet and I looked at the one stat? It was
Just
always
get that off my
intelligence. It's
chest.
like,
There's
oh,
no books in the ocean.
No time for reading.
Jody's been on the run
Yeah.
for years.
Like, I just
kiss
you
your
know
lord.
I wanted to go the whole season without having to correct anyone, and I feel like I achieved that,
Mhm.
thankfully.
Yeah.
Caleb, why don't you answer number 10?
Sure.
Or
Let's take a look.
state it.
This is our buddy Lex again. I love you deeply, Lex. You are the Thembo of the TTRPG community, and we're gonna make that title stick.
But they're also
How-
very smart.
Incredibly smart, but they called themselves a Thembo, and they're trying to make it stick. We gotta assist where we can.
Yeah,
in this
Well,
Caleb's
community.
just helping out.
Yeah, I'm doing my civil duty. How different do you think the campaign would have been if someone could speak Air Genasi? I think about this shit all the time.
I'm so happy none of you picked any of the
Yeah.
elemental languages. I'm so happy. It's so good.
I honestly think it adds so much to our relationship
For
with
sure.
Baran that we were able to form that much love out of a lack of communication. Like,
Yeah.
incredible.
Or
I
like
would
an hour
not
of
have it.
communication a day because I had tongues near the end. And but that was
Exactly.
it.
And think of how much we sacrificed as a group just so we could love that kid like make sure that they were loved and taken care of. Like, so many spell slots where we were just like, burn it, we gotta talk to her.
Burn
Like,
it.
Yeah.
It's our
I mean, it was
baby.
also like she. It's not like she was an old kid, you know. I mean, like
No,
I feel
yeah.
like even if she could talk, I don't know how different it would have been because she's like what 4.
Four. I
She's
mean,
four.
Yeah, I
4-year-olds
agree.
have ideas and opinions.
But like
Cute.
you can
That's fair.
glean those ideas and opinions without them necessarily saying words you can understand.
I think it was actually smart of Eli to do that because had Baran talked, Baran probably would have been like, I want to go back to the frog or who, those people who are dead.
True.
And then it's us for an hour deciding whether we listen to Baran or not. You know what I mean? So it was a very
and we would.
right.
we
So
really
the
would.
brilliance of the campaign was it just we there was no thinking to be done. It was a very clear cut mission, and it was a
I-
blessing that
yeah.
she couldn't speak our language.
I think it says so much to her innocence in the end too. Like, there's such a theme of that in her. We loved her because there was nothing that had ever hurt her yet, and we got to be a part of that. Like, even in that language barrier, there was that safety and innocence. Baran is one of my all-time favorite things we've ever done,
Yeah.
and we didn't even do it. Like,
didn't do it, like, we
we
didn't do
just
anything
talked
to
to
ruin
her.
it.
Like,
That's it.
yeah, exactly.
Nick. Oh, what's the next question?
Next question, number 11. Who wants to answer this or state this one?
I'll do it.
All right, go for it, Allegra.
Lex, again, our beloved Thembo. I will also follow Caleb's lead.
There
I
we
guess.
go. Civil duty.
If you hadn't spent so much time in the Rokewood, where do you think the airtime would have gone?
Good question.
Ooh, Eli. Eli, what did you want to happen? I guess also.
Actually, that's a great yes.
I desperately tried to keep you all out of the Rokewood. I've come to
Well-
I will say I have come to find that in all the campaigns I've so far ran in Ashoka, we somehow end up in the Rokewood. And it's a
in
long
the middle
thing
of
that
the
we
map
spent
First.
yeah, it's a bunch of islands. My hope was to spend more time in Walraven. With everything in that forest going on. I was hoping to spend a couple more times in that, but you guys wanted to resupply. And so
Which
we went into the
never
rope.
technically did.
No,
Nope.
we didn't.
Did you?
Never
You just
got
never.
there.
You never went to like
We did.
civilization ports. You guys just
Oh,
ended up
that's
on
right.
random
Yeah.
uninhabited
McLean.
islands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing about the Rokewood was like it would trigger stuff like stuff with especially with like Rad. It was like okay, cool. Well, that's where we're gonna go. So I was pushing us towards Walraven. It ended up in the Rokewood, but I think it was fine. I think it worked out for the best. It was a really awesome story that ended up coming out from spending a lot of time there. But
I thought you were prepared from the beginning, no question, to take us into the Rokewood. It's a testament
no.
to how well you handled it, because it felt pretty natural.
I mean,
Yeah.
as a general rule of thumb, with this group, if there's anything you don't want us to do, you should
We're gonna do
assume
it.
that we're gonna do it.
yeah.
Yep, immediate.
Like
It will be the first thing we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Especially once saw it.
I showed you guys a map. You had a
Yeah.
map that had a red line that showed you going around the Rokewood
Again,
to Walraven.
this is what
and you're like,
happens
yeah,
with-
we should go to the main city.
This
You
is what
gotta
happens when I'm the
listen.
smarter character, okay? Because I'm
One
like,
of-
oh yeah.
One of us said in the Discord that they wanted a shopping episode, and that's where it fucking ended. Like,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I never let you shop
Stopped.
one
yeah,
day.
not fucking once.
That's,
That's
what
what
we
we
get.
get.
Yeah. Also, Rad was nervous about the Rokewood. As soon as they brought it up, and Rad was like, "Ooh," I was like, "Okay, so we will live there. We will build a home. We will start a family in the Rokewood."
Yeah.
How weird would it have been if we just got there and we were just like, you know what? Let's not drop Baran off. We're just
is
let's
our
just
kid
build.
now.
Yeah,
We
Yeah.
let's just make a
I
life.
mean, that
here.
would have changed a lot of things.
just 6 moms,
Yep.
Then it becomes a sitcom.
which I'm not against. We could. Aaron, my mom's been listening to this, Aaron, and she texted me, and she goes, "When's the Shodi and Trick buddy cop movie coming?"
Yes.
I was like,
good.
"Oh, Mama, I don't know, but okay, this is
We
very
can work
sweet."
on that.
I feel like that buddy cop movie is going to be a lot grittier than they give on. That's just you guys showing up to a college and killing everyone fucking there.
Yes.
But doing so
Freeing
with
children.
a smile.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Eli, why don't you read question 13?
Cool. This is from Trogren from Patreon, and he says, "What is a guilty pleasure that every character has that wasn't shown in the in our episodes?"
Guilty pleasure. Rad really doesn't have a lot of private guilty pleasures. I think he surfs, he eats squid pies, and he
Squid pie.
just kind of does what he wants. So I don't know if he has any secret pleasures.
Does he like telenovelas?
Guilty pleasure, even. If they had him, he'd probably watch them. But he wears himself on his sleeve, so.
Yeah.
Define guilty.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Think
God.
about Jeremy.
Well, it sounds like you got an idea.
Oh,
Is it
The
is it
glass figurines for Trig, but those were
That was-
known.
But that was known.
Yeah.
But
was
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like
pretty big. Yeah.
episode
The-
1 out the
I guess
gate,
like
my
I guess
boy.
like he sort of tried to keep it on the DL, but not. I
my
don't think he was.
favorite thing.
I don't think he was smart enough to realize that people would think that was weird. You know.
Mm.
I don't know. I think Trig's guilty pleasure is being nice. I think he thinks he should just kill everybody.
Trig offering Shodi to hold Jeremy after episode 8 wrecked me. I was like, oh, okay,
Cares.
I don't want to hold him, but thank you.
when I was writing the Order of the Ballast, I wanted like a lot of balance to these people because they are what they are for so long, and so that was part of what painting came out of that, and him having that artistic streak. But I never got to bring it up. I thought that maybe it would come along naturally, and never did. But Anchor's a singer; he can sing.
Word? We're gonna talk about
Yeah,
that.
it,
Takes
All those nights out on the ocean, you never sang for us?
well, yeah, like I think he was waiting. Like he is never the first to do it. Like he is never the first to do anything. He waits for the invitation from someone else. So
Yeah.
he was hoping that someone on the crew was a singer too.
Maybe if we had a bard.
Hold
Yeah.
on.
It's kind of a little piggyback. Besides the obviously sweets, sweets,
Yeah.
sweets.
Yeah.
Naval can dance.
Makes
So-
I'm
sense.
so glad you said
Makes sense.
I think I
Okay.
did a subtle
Can't even get
thing
on
where,
this call.
like in the very first episode, it was something like that, and it was just like something because remember, sound's very sensitive. So if it's very calm and soothing, it's like kind of
Yeah.
allows Naval to like extend with her body out like that. So and also, I figured she's very high on Dex, very light on her feet and
Mhm.
with her hands. So basically, she can dance.
Oh, we have to do that.
Musical
Yeah.
episode.
Oh yeah.
Remember, she got a very long braid. She likes to whip that around every now and then.
Yeah.
In chat, we've had a request for a karaoke episode.
Oh.
We want you
Oh
to still
boy.
listen to the show. You don't want to hear me sing.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Amanda.
what karaoke is. You're not good at singing, but you do it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Amanda, why don't you read question 14?
Oh, sorry.
right.
I just want to say super quick. Kenny's a thought.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. We never enjoyed that.
Uh-huh. No, good.
Okay.
Do you care to elaborate?
Does that mean they have like
Yeah,
basic
no.
pleasures
Yeah, I mean,
or?
keep going, keep going.
I mean, she's thoughty because, like,
Yes.
she's an actual doctor. But part of like her
You're
unique practice
19.
was yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Was that she has like a clinic that is like the cover for the clinic is a club, like a dance club. So she's used to performing surgery under like like. That's why when you said Snowball likes to dance, I was like, that's perfect, perfect. But yeah, no, party scene is like,
It's essential.
Yeah.
We,
Yeah.
we need the Suicide
Wait,
Squad of all of us getting fucking down in a
Yes.
club before we
Yeah.
die.
I haven't
Yes.
been to a big party rave thing, so that's gonna be fun. Eli,
Shody likes seashells. That's their big thing, which isn't like even
there's
a thing.
something.
did you
Yeah,
do that
really,
on
like they've
purpose?
what?
Shody
likes
likes seashells.
No.
What was the inspiration
No.
for that name? That was the most unique name I think in our campaign.
Jody
Um,
shells down by
I like Aaron just rocking and quietly saying, "Jody likes seashells." That's I love you, buddy. I don't really know. I was just like sounding out. When I'm alone in my car or if my partner is not in our apartment, I just talk out loud to myself and say different words. And then I was doing that one day and I said Shody and I was like, ooh, I was looking for a name for Shody and I didn't have one for them, and then I was like, okay, this kind of works. And then I was like, what's a D&D name? Like, what's a D&D way to spell Shody? And I was like, X has to be in there and it has to end in an I. And that's it. So
Was
that's
it
kinda
maybe
how-
like
I-
before or after you were listening to a song maybe that had that lyric
I was-
that inspired you?
No,
Exactly.
I genuinely, I fucking hate that song. I deeply despise that song in all actuality.
That was
But
the
how
big
do-
question. Of
Did
mine.
you
How
see
to-
it coming?
Yeah.
No, that's
Expecting
the
it.
like it's that thing of like it sounds cool in my head and I'm like, yeah, this is a good name, Shody. Absolutely, no one's gonna fuck this. And then all of you were like,
Immediately.
Shody, like and I was like, I hate everyone. It's not even a long it's a
Did,
show.
did that make it into the
Shody.
show, right? That whole joke? Eli, did that make it in?
did.
Okay.
I think. Oh yeah, totally.
I just don't want to be talking about
I-
something the audience has no
I-
idea what we're referring to.
No.
I mean, it
I
was.
said that multiple
Yeah.
times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think I ever said it right once.
No, none of you did.
Every time we did combat.
Zowdy, Shoddy. I was like,
Got it.
Shody. It's not hard. It's just Shody. You're just looking at it too long.
I still sing it in my head every time. Every time.
I hate
Yeah.
you. I hate all of you.
All right, Amanda, why don't you try question
Yes.
14?
14. Chief from Patreon. Has anyone asked the one item the character needs on a desert island question yet?
They have
We
not.
have
Did
not.
It's a good one.
So let's answer that.
Oh.
What is the one?
Anyone have an immediate answer?
Trig is
Yeah.
the Jeremy. It's Jeremy for
It
Trig.
is Jeremy. It is Jeremy. It's not the crossbows. It's Jeremy.
It's Jeremy.
Oh, it's Jeremy.
See, for Anchor, I've got 2 answers, and that's if I'm with all of you, I'm bringing the club because I know all of you are picking things like Jeremy, and
Yeah.
someone needs to keep us alive.
Mm,
But
mm.
if I'm alone, I think Anchor takes his sash and his paints. I mean, he couldn't live without this stuff.
Is it your-
Similarly, oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna ask if Sergio if it was his surfboard.
I don't need to bring my surfboard because I can make it out of a tree on the island, you know.
That is
True.
So I'm bringing
Shatter.
I'm
No
bringing like a
doubt.
way to make squid pies or something. Little portable oven.
like
With a
It's
light
just-
bulb.
Fucking rad, an island, and an air fryer.
Allegra?
I like.
Oh, go Zach.
Oh, okay. I like Kenny's little file cabinet purse. There's a lot of pockets we didn't really get to.
Mm.
I have plans for those pockets, but it has everything. It can hold everything.
Like,
Probably their notebook. We never got to it, but it was one of the items that Eli had me like roll for, and it was it's like a notebook that contains all of your dreams. Like everything you dream about is written in that notebook. So it's that, and then that notebook also has the feather and the feather that or the leaf that was a feather in there too.
Those items were really cool. I don't even know how many of those we got to see throughout the season. Did we see?
You guys actually
or-
pulled out them like a couple times.
Oh.
Yeah.
Brad's
I know-
potion.
I used
Jeremy.
mine. Yeah.
I mean, I think I had a little twig that did a thing that I forget.
A twig with Trig.
Twig
There
with
you go.
Trig.
Twig.
I gave Rad the eye.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the
You
eye
had an eye?
was-
Yeah,
That-
the eye.
The tiger's eye.
That
thing.
glass eye that looks at magical items.
Now I remember, yeah.
Or the powerful object, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you guys actually used a lot of them. Not the actual magic items I gave you, but the trinkets.
Eli, why would we
So-
do that? Why would we use the useful thing?
I don't know. I mean, you guys used the elemental ones, but like the cards we didn't get to use anymore.
I
Uh,
cannot believe that we went through an entire game and we had someone else pick the deck of many things.
Oh yeah, the worm cards.
Instead of
Oh, it's not
any
even
of
the,
us.
It's not even the deck of many things, but
But the thing is, as far as we know, they're worm cards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We're also
That
doing
is
other
so-
things with
That-
worm
that's
cards
so
too.
sad.
So was it a variation of the deck of many things, Eli?
It's just it's like the deck of many things, but it's a magic item card that you can pull. I call it the deck of strange familiar. It's you can get a random familiar
Oh my god!
when you pull the
we
card.
could have used
so
some
that's what-
familiars.
So for
Here's-
24 hours, you'll have a familiar for whoever pulls the card, and that's why the Worm Knight came out, because they drawed from that table.
We were so terrified it was gonna kill us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
that's what
so
I found.
worried. I thought it was
Yeah.
the deck of many things. I wanted no fucking part to
That
do
was
with the
my.
deck of
I
many
thought
things.
I thought we were gonna pull a card and the universe was just gonna stop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I found that like new players to D&D are really all about
Sure.
pulling from the cards, but I found that seasoned people from D&D
Mm.
don't trust any form of deck of cards.
No,
So I was like,
absolutely
oh
not.
no one wants
Yeah.
to play with these
Fucking
cards.
Well, because I kept thinking, I'm like, yeah, Trig would be the first person I'd give a deck of many things. That is the first person, because he'll pull fucking anything. Like,
Hey, so I have a question about the lore, Eli. It's more about narratively. When we were on that island with the honey guide, with that bird,
Uh-huh.
What did we run away from? There was something on that island that we didn't find. Something made those traps. What was on there?
Well, the honey guide itself was a piece of lore that I found from watching some stuff at work. And it was pretty like on par with like the Fae, and the Rokewood is a very strange place. So many islands would have points to the Feywild.
Okay.
But there were also there's also just people that live on random islands.
So there were just some Rokewood people living on that island that made a trap.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I
So,
feel like
yeah.
you're really sidestepping what was on that island. You're just like,
I mean, you guys just
"Ah,
didn't
they
go
used it."
far enough into like
Uh-huh.
trigger what would have been there,
Why
the-
did
the
we
hun-
even stop at that island? I can't even
but you guys were trying to
remember.
resupply after the storm.
Right.
So you guys were just trying to get some stuff. But like the lore with the honey guide itself is that if you don't like give a piece of the pie or like say like thanks, it's then gonna start leading you more towards ill instead of good.
Kenny
So because
tried to fight
Kenny-
it.
Yeah, so Kenny never said thank you. Kenny never like gave a piece of fruit or something to it, so it got offended
Mm,
from the hospitality.
Yeah.
that's funny.
I think I just asked if I knew it, and then that's it.
Yeah. And you
I
just
was
looked
gonna
at
say-
it, mean mugged it.
I think maybe it's a side effect of Delta Green, but then I think of every game we've played in. But we're not a very like trusting group ever.
No.
We don't trust shit. Like I feel
No.
so bad for that rabbit because for a good 4 episodes I was gonna kill that bitch for no reason.
I was ready for that rabbit to be dinner. From
Yeah.
second one.
And, like up until that point, Anchor had been so trustworthy of everyone, but he blew the whistle and immediately like, oh, I'm gonna kill this bitch. Like that was it. Like wild.
Caleb, why don't you answer question 15?
Sure. This is from Emily, my lovely partner. Which team would win in a bare knuckle fight? No magic, no weapons. The Delta Green Squad or the Ashoka crew?
Oh, come on.
Yeah, with the-
Yeah, I
Ashoka
think
would
Ashoka
destroy.
him.
They have a half giant, a
Wait.
turtle man,
Yeah.
and a literal dragon. Like, there's no.
Wait. If this was
Yeah.
a debate, an intellectual debate fight, then
Fair.
yes,
Fair.
I
It
would
would come
give it
to
to.
blows so fast, though. It would be like
It would.
3 seconds, and Trigger would be like, "All right, here we go," and it'd be over.
But
I
Trek
mean, also
doesn't
with
really
the-
go crazy. That's the thing.
With
Unless
Doom
it's like
to
his-
repeat though. It's
Oh,
the
wait.
same. Like Doom to repeat, folks also square up super quickly.
Yeah.
Not like
That's-
half of us can't fight, but we still square up just as quick.
Yeah, like I think
I-
like an intellectual Lincoln Douglas debate ends in nuclear war with
Yeah.
either of those two groups.
I think the only pro that Perennial has going for them is that we are very hard to kill. We're just cockroaches. That's the only thing. And that
You
just
say
means
that.
that they'd be beating the shit out of us for longer. Like,
They would tire themselves out trying.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Tucker.
we got a zippy one and hide.
yeah.
I'd be the last one.
Yeah,
Last one standing.
I could do this all day.
Aaron, why don't you ask this last question also from Emily?
What would each member's high school superlative be?
And to be clear, that's like most popular, most
Yeah.
likely to
Class
succeed.
clown,
Okay.
best. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, my high school didn't do that, so I might have to think
Boo.
extra hard.
Yeah.
Oh.
most
There's always,
likely
like,
to be
most
in
popular, most likely to
jail.
succeed. That's always a terrible one. Like, it's
I
like
think my dad got that in his high school superlative. He's not in jail. He's a wonderful man. I just think that's funny. That just popped into my head. Sorry.
Shouty would be most likely to have a family, I think.
Yeah.
Have like children's.
Most likely to
Most
get like.
likely to
herd of
turn into
kids.
a fucking barrel.
Honestly, I came into this. I literally came into this like I'm not gonna deal with kids, like because I always have like a soft spot for kids with all of my characters, and I was like, this time it's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna
oh,
like
wow.
care about
2
kids. like-
seconds later.
and then Eli
And I
gave
said-
me a
And then I
4-year-old.
said, children.
After this is also after a year of me not seeing my little sister who was 7 at the time, so I was
Yeah.
just ripe for like my baby.
Yeah.
So, and this is you're also seeing Shodi at a very like specific moment. I think from the way they're built, they would have been a lot more feral if they didn't have this 4-year-old to protect.
Mm.
Interesting.
That'll be fun to see.
So
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
but I also like the idea of most likely to have a family because it tracks.
Is there a most likely to be the subject of a Dateline episode?
Yeah.
Wait,
That's
wait, is it a victim or is it a
yes,
subject?
I feel like Kenny would be most likely to be successful, or like, you know, with the whole contracts
I think so,
thing.
yeah.
Like,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most likely
Most
to
likely
own
to
her own
scheme.
business.
Yeah.
And it's a win it.
Girl boss. Oh,
Because
okay.
I think if Kenny went to high school, I think they would be one of those kids in high school that carries like a briefcase full of papers around instead of a backpack.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Slams it on the desk. That click click. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd live for that.
I think Rad would be most likely to retire early, maybe.
I feel like
Okay,
class
yeah.
clown.
I was
I
like,
Oh,
I
Class
know
Clown
Class
works
Clown.
too. Yeah.
Class Clown is really good. to be
Rad has
honest.
strong ASB president energy. Like you don't have to be good at your job. You just have to be really like likable. And
Yeah,
I
now
love
that you
ASB.
mention it, like I'm reminded of that movie Election. Remember when
Oh.
Reese
Yeah.
Witherspoon was running against that dummy, and he was just like a really nice guy? I feel like
Yeah.
that would totally be rad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like Snooval is like the looks like a
Most
cinnamon
likely.
roll is a cinnamon roll, but it's look like they could actually kill you, but also is a cinnamon roll.
Also most likely to go pro.
Most likely to
Oh.
go pro. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most likely to. I don't know.
I feel because they would do like most likely to be a doctor, right? I think honestly, I think Anchor would be the most likely to be a doctor.
Oh,
Yeah.
Anchor gives me doctor vibes.
I like that.
Big
I was
Yeah.
also
Actually,
thinking most likely to move out of the country.
No, I'm gonna say this.
Yes.
Most likely to end up on a GQ magazine. That's Anchor.
Hey.
Oh, that's true.
Anchor's got that hair.
I'm
Yeah, he do.
saying.
He's a good
So,
looking
like,
boy. Hot
Caleb.
doctor on GQ.
Caleb, where on the raft did you keep all that conditioner?
That was
It's
some
natural,
oh,
baby.
beautiful flowing
It's
lawn.
all natural oil, baby.
One
I'll
of the
give you
posts.
my hair care routine.
One of the posts on the ship is hollow. It's just held down with conditioner.
like
Shoves
a
his
dab.
Dips
hair
his
into it
hand
and
in.
pulls.
What? You think all those vials are just paint? No, fucker. That's
That's a
shampoo
deep
on the side.
conditioner.
Can you remember
No,
which is
it's
which though?
saltier.
No.
Does anyone from Mayday have any other questions? Because we've just answered all of our friends' questions.
Thank you guys for sending
Yeah.
this in. Also, that's
Yeah.
rad.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Good. Also, that I this isn't a question, but I think we can all thank Sergio for ruining the word "rad" for us for the rest of our lives.
Absolutely.
100%.
I'm going to admit I did enjoy going, "What's that? What's that?" every time somebody said "rad."
I think that every time, like in the Discord chat, somebody puts like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle up every time
Yeah.
somebody says "rad."
I was
Yeah.
hoping that someone in the campaign would try to pronounce my full name, but none of you ever tried.
I'm so scared.
What was it? Was it Rada Aha Ui?
said it
Rada-
once,
yeah, that would have been pretty good. It's just about
Saying it with an
enunciating
Irish
all of
accent would have
those-
sucked ass though.
Yes. No.
Hey, do you
Even
want to try?
even I wasn't really trying it.
You want to try right now, Allegra?
Oh fuck! Hold on.
Come on, I think
There's a
I'd
whole
give the
episode I
people what
forgot how
they
to do
want.
my accent. You want me to do it right now?
Yes.
Cold.
I do wanna ask, what did you guys at the beginning of the first episode, what did you guys expect you guys were going to do? Because I did mention we were going
That's
on a
true.
delivery mission, but what did you guys think the precious cargo was gonna be?
I thought it was gonna be like literal like things, like important documents or like war, like treaties of war or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought something similar. I actually thought we were like those. Okay, so in the Two Towers, Lord of the Rings, there's that big fucking fight at Helm's Deep, and one of the orcs runs by with like a fucking caravan of big explosives, and the other one's got the torch. I
Yeah.
literally, at the beginning of the campaign, thought, well, maybe that's us. Maybe we're like a suicide mission. We're going to take some bombs into the Capitol
Mm.
and blow the place up. I thought that maybe we were being recruited to take on Sasan.
So you're saying that you thought we were being indoctrinated as terrorists.
Yes!
A little bit.
I mean,
If you've watched all
We
of
will
season
be.
1 of Ashoka, baby, we made ourselves terrorists.
We
uh-huh.
will Trig, you and I at least will shortly be terrorists.
And if you've seen the one shot, you're all wanted souls.
Exactly. We reached that conclusion without the indoctrination.
Yeah, we manifested it.
You know, if you think about it, the Mandalorian is the basic
Yeah.
premise. This Bad Batch, the latest Star Wars, is basically the same
Hell
thing,
yeah.
where they have that Omega character. It's a great device, having this living thing you got to take care of, and it was smart on your part to make it like a cute little girl as opposed to some grumpy old person or something.
Yeah.
I needed something that was worthy enough for you guys to not just take and run.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Because
great
all
point.
of you had proclivities to take and run.
And I don't think any of our characters wanted a kid long term.
Yeah,
Oh
no.
no.
By the end.
But
I
also,
did,
but also,
like-
we all wanted the kid long term.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I fell in love with it too because I think the first time in that very bad game we never talk about, but we always talk about,
Yep.
the very first thing we all bonded over was adopting that fucking NPC that was written for us.
That's
It
right.
was, it was the
fucking
first
gelatinous
thing that we
cube.
did that like went against the story and everything.
Which
And
was
so
like
it was,
the only fun thing we ever did in that
Yeah.
time period.
exactly.
Wait, we adopted a red cap, like one of
I
the
was gonna
last
say there was
games we
two.
played
We
too.
did do that.
We-
yeah,
I
did
gave
that.
us 2
You
kids,
guys were adopting a
motherfuckers.
lot of stuff.
And so then when we got to Baran, I was like, oh shit, this is the most us story in the world. Like people who never expected to be together, but do it over a shared love and a realization they have a responsibility. So good. So
How many people actually were invited to this quest?
yeah.
I wasn't. Trig wasn't.
I
Same.
stole my thing.
Oh, interesting.
So did I. Trig found.
You what?
Yeah.
How many
yeah,
people
I-
stole their letters? 3, right?
Well, technically, I didn't steal it. Technically, what I did was looting.
You
I
stole it from who?
I was led to it.
Okay.
Just
I sunk a ship and stole the summons.
Am I the only one that was asked by name?
I think I may have been asked too, because I don't remember
No,
anything.
you plucked yours off a ship
Ah.
that you killed.
Well, that explains.
Hey,
okay,
me
okay.
too.
That explains the art that Zakia did with all of us together, because it's all those moments where we like find those letters. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, none of
Yeah.
us were really.
I think
That's
I
most-
think
was
Trix
led
is
to
even him standing over a field of bodies
Of
and
dead
he's
bodies,
holding the
correct.
sheet of paper.
Yeah.
So there's like an alternate timeline
Six
where
other-
they never killed and
Mhm.
stole these people, and I have a completely
Yeah.
different group of people I'm
Yeah.
running around with.
Yeah. Technically. Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, Kenny didn't kill their person. They were running low on paper, stole paper, turned it over, and realized that it was an invitation. That's
I just saw in the I guess this is more for like podcast, but I just saw in the chat. So all of this started with mail fry.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Amazing.
I am
So-
not agreeing with that statement. No, she did not. It was led to her. That's how
Define
Was it
the
led
One
to
context.
anchor
death?
came by it honestly. The
I
rest of
was-
us not so much.
I have
beating
a
up some
follow-up. then.
slavers, and I was told to take it.
If you guys took these letters, what was the reason for your character being like, "Yeah, I'll go do it"? Like
The money.
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 just the
Yeah.
money?
No, I was told.
I needed to
Trig-
get out of where I was, so I took it.
Mm.
Trig thought it would lead him to some bad government leaders.
I got you.
That's
Uh,
right, because the first episode you're like, "How do you like the people here?"
Do you want me to kill that guy for you?
And I think that was every new place we got to. Hey, do you want me to kill the people in charge?
Yeah.
Kellenvor actually told me to do it, so that's where when he says it, I do
Okay.
it.
So you
Yeah.
had God on your side. the
Oh,
rest of
oh!
us
By
were
the way,
not.
I did that with all of you. By the way, like I would
Oh,
like, I would. constantly DM
Oh.
Eli, and I'd be like, "What do I see? Do I save or kill, or do I take him out? Because if I'm told to kill you, I will do it." So that's where I was constantly doing that, and a lot of times it'd be like, "Protect, protect, protect." And I think there's one time you're all like, you had the longest response. I kept seeing those dots. I'm like, "What are you doing? Yes or no? Yes or no?"
Question then, Amanda.
Yeah.
What were our scales? What did we look like?
Yeah.
Oh, I because Eli would. She told me. So for
Were they like descriptions of what
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
looked
there were
like?
descriptions. 1 second.
Yes.
I need to
Bring
hear
them
this
up.
shit.
Oh, yeah.
No.
So remember,
But-
Rad was like, I couldn't see, but there was something there.
Hiding
I mean,
the
Eli
turtle.
in the
Yeah.
podcast did. There was a few times where you asked out loud, and you
Yeah.
got some kind of response.
Yeah.
I think, unfortunately, sometimes I would forget to say it, and that's why I would just quietly, and then I was like, I gotta start saying it out loud so people know
Yeah.
what the fuck I'm doing. Just not doing shit. But I asked on everybody, what was their scales? What do I see? Tell me if I could trust you or if I couldn't.
I always wondered.
Yeah, that's why,
Oh,
like, for Rad, I was told to protect. I was just like, instant, I will look after him. And then that was where it started to hurt when he left, because I was the
Oh.
first kind of friend I've ever really made that wasn't, that was like
Our
natural.
boy. One of my favorite moments is finding him on that beach with Trig.
Trig trying to cover him up.
Yeah.
Trig going out to make turtle soup
Hold on.
and finding the turtle.
Remember, no, he
is-
came back with the turtle. I think he was gonna go get a turtle and be like, here you guys.
Yeah.
I was going to go.
Okay.
I was going to go get a turtle to try to cheer you up.
And you did.
Is what?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
We found our turtle.
So this is what I sent to Snaval. I said for Shodi, the scales tip towards good. Her scales kind of glow like a metal fresh out of the forge, and on that scale itself is an embellished branded P. Anchor has primarily leans towards good. There's a hesitant teetering to the scale, more of a penance and a confliction, as if one is trying to atone for a past grievance. Trig, while there are more coins leaning on the good side, you have a sense of honest good to him. His scales are leaning towards the bad, and it seems like it's forced that way. Kenny was a bright good leaning scale. The scale has a divine energy surrounding it that manifests in a golden hand that seems to be constantly adding coins to the life end of the scale, but it doesn't change its positioning. And Rad was she does not see a scale. She didn't see anything, but instead Snaval feels that something is watching.
Dude, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Wait. So the scales do good and bad and life and death?
So the way, it's kind of like the scales indicate a couple things. One, if they're a good soul, like genuinely, even if you made mistakes, it could still tell when someone is like a genuinely good soul compared to not. And I actually, when it comes to life or death, I have to ask the question, does this person need to transcend, or do they need to cross over? If the answer is yes, that
kill
means I must have them face judgment no matter what. So if it was Trig and everyone tried to stop me, unfortunately, it was either I'm going or Trig's going. But most of the time, no, that's serious.
Yeah.
That's how it is. That's where it gets nervous at times, because if I have to, I'm going down that path. And most of the time, it's no.
So, can you tell when we die?
Sometimes it can be an indicator.
Okay, so it's not like this dude's got 2 weeks left.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not-
nothing like that.
Okay. I was like,
This is how you're
That
gonna
sucks.
die.
But if
Snowball's
Eli ever
been fucking
says-
holding out, like, you better fucking tell us if we got 2 days left.
Even if so, I wouldn't say it, because then that's on your brain. But I
Would you
don't.
want to
It's not
know?
me. It's Eli.
Would you really
I-
want to know?
Me, Caleb, I'd want to know.
Okay, let's say Caleb or Anchor. Yeah.
You can ask Snowball. Like, you tell us when we die. And be like, sometime.
I really want that to come up. I want that whole conversation to come up of how that works, because I've been wondering the whole game.
I'm surprised no one asked how Snowball can read.
Well,
By the way, because remember,
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't
There is a
think
way.
about
very
that.
interesting way that Snaval knows how to read.
That hadn't occurred to me.
I was like,
there's also
"Oh,
like
Eric
so
is
much.
blind."
there's so much I wanted to ask you guys that fell to the same sort of thing we did in Doom to Repeat, where it's like, fuck, I've known you people for like a week. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
We will get past that eventually. But
yeah,
right
yeah.
now-
Yeah.
I mean, we've spent what, like a month together at this, like at the end
Summer.
of, yeah,
Summer,
a
like,
full summer. I
About 2
mean,
months.
yeah.
I think we should time jump a little bit.
Oh,
That'd be so
But
fun.
but there's
Just
so
so we can get to
much-
level 13 for some of us.
There's so much in that time
You
jump.
say there's the
though.
trial.
Oh,
whatever
man.
the fuck
Just
Trig's
stuff that I would
doing.
love to do. Yeah. Who knows what we're gonna do for season 2?
Well,
I don't want a time jump because I want to have done something before we see Baran again. Like, I want to be able to come back and meet Baran and actually say something we did in the podcast in between. Like, we fucking tackled a kingdom while you were gone, and now you're a fucking 14-year-old. What the fuck? Like,
We gotta keep. Kenny still has sending, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was just gonna say I want to talk to her.
Oh yeah.
we gotta send like newsletters.
Updates. That's what we're doing.
Can you imagine?
Highlights.
You're a teen and you're 6 moms that you haven't spoken to in like 7 years.
That you probably don't even remember.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not letting her forget us.
Wouldn't it be funny
We-
if like that magical barricade made it like delay a little bit, so it's always like
Yeah.
maybe a year later? No.
We
Oh,
have to
no.
send her like really specific advice when we're guessing at what ages she gets to. It's like, this is how you make friends. Listen.
We don't know.
That's the worst.
Yeah, we
right?
Yeah, we don't
Stay
know.
on a boat
We
with
can't-
them for 2 months.
We can't give a kid advice.
She's our kid. We can give her
We
advice.
did, honestly, we
good
did
advice.
No.
pretty well with her. I think Baran's one of the best things we've ever accomplished.
Us
He
is like
raised-
Mayday.
Yeah, I think he's raised her well. It's
Yeah.
great.
So what we're saying is, we're ready for adoption. If anyone has any agencies they'd like to
I have a
recommend.
question for everybody. Since you're talking about adoption, now this is a different type of connection. Does anyone think that there's going to be future possible ships that happen with any of the Ashoka crew?
Yes,
An
Dragon
armada.
Turtle.
An armada.
You're asking, and you know the answer is yes. You.
Anchor
Yeah,
and Trig?
Wait,
No.
hold on. Are you talking
No.
about like
But
relationships or like
Dragon.
boats?
I'm
Dragon.
talking
You're in
straight
Trig?
up.
Dragon turtle,
Dragon
for
turtle,
sure.
for sure.
Or golden dragon.
Let me
Or
just
Golden
pull up my chart that I made of everyone's ship names.
Yeah,
Because
we
I
do
made
have
it.
several.
Wait.
I was hoping Leg or Zach would have something.
Oh no,
ready
Zach
to
and I
go.
would go back and forth mid-game, being like, "Oh, there goes Dragon Turtle," and
Yeah,
then
I
I text
got
Caleb and go, "Oh, there goes Golden Dragon."
Which one is Golden
got-
Dragon?
Golden Dragon.
Golden
Kenny
dragon
and
is Kenny
Kenny.
and Snowball.
Yeah.
Okay.
like halfway through so many episodes, I would get a private message from Leg going, "You guys should kiss now."
It was mostly a
That's
joke,
That's normal.
but
That's how the
if
show
you'd
goes.
done
Yeah.
it, I would have
It's
been
very
happy.
normal, but it was like triple the amount we got during Doom to Repeat. Like,
Actually, I did not know that.
I know
we
was-
gave
it
them
was
a lot
mostly
of-
joke when I said those.
yeah. Oh, it was one. It was never like a force thing, but it was
No.
the funniest shit in the world. And 9 times out of 10, I was like, maybe.
Do you have the list?
Yeah, no, I do. There's a couple of them that I'm really proud of. I did everyone's combination with everyone except for me because it made me nervous and scared.
I see.
But
We'll cover that end of the spectrum.
Yeah,
no
we'll
worries.
take care of that one.
sort of my favorite names, and it's not about realism at all. But I think Shodi and Snooval's ship name would be Grayscale. I'm really excited about that.
Okay.
Shodi and Trig would be Big Shot because Shodi's big.
Oh my god, I want that so much.
Shodi and Anchor is Iron Giant because Anchor.
Oh
Iron Giant. I love the name, but I'm sorry, Caleb. That can't happen.
no,
Trig-
no. I don't think I've ever thought that. I don't think.
No.
No. Trig and Rad is Shell Shock.
Nice.
That's pretty
These are
good.
incredible.
That would be a rough
Wait.
ship right there. That's some
Yeah.
fucking angst. That's a
That's,
long
no, no,
burn.
that's a
Can I
crack
see
ship,
this
That's
okay?
chart?
almost
Is
as
this
angry
like
as
a-
thoughts and
Fraction for
prayers.
sure.
Zakia, is this like
Yeah.
a multiplication table you've got, or is it?
It's a full chart, gang. Like
Oh,
it's
Keep telling me. I want to know
it's
more.
like-
Oh my goodness.
it's
Oh
a full
my
chart.
God.
We
Okay.
got to hear the others, and then once you've gone through all of them, you need to tell us which one you think is the most likely to
Most
happen.
viable.
Okay, I'll do it
Yeah.
super quick, super quick. So all of Anchor's ships with Rad, it's Radcore. Trig is Weighted Arrow, Snowball. Did I say Dragon Jail or Dragon Tail? We just talked about Iron Giant. Rad ships with Anchor and Rad or Heavy Turtle. We talked about Shell Shock. We talked about Dragon Turtle. Shody and Rad, I think, is Magic Turtle.
Ooh.
Trig ships with Anchor, Tranker. With Rad, Trad. Talked about Hot Shot and Big Shot. Snooval, Snoovanker, Snoorad, Trival, Grayscale, and Golden Dragon. Shody is Zanker or
Sick! Terrible!
or Shanker.
Zanker?
Oh Lord.
So I think Rad and Shody is Shad.
That's fun, Serge.
These are just power couple names.
Shouty and Trig. Obviously, I was getting tired because
Yeah.
Showrig.
Wait, what?
Showrig. You know how that's
Showrig.
And Chauval. Definitely. Oh, Cheval.
Cheval. Like Chevalier, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then that's it.
Well, an incredible thing to bring our parlay to a close on.
Amazing. Question to ask.
Amazing.
We
Wait,
need most viable.
Ah, yeah.
Oh yes.
Almost viable.
I
Who is the next couple of the year for the superlatives?
Ooh.
like
Who's gonna be the class couple? Yeah, you're right. The class couple.
Dragon Turtle.
Dragon Turtle?
Dragon Turtle.
Dragon
This
Turtle.
guy has shown no interest. I'm
What do you
sorry.
mean?
Are you kidding me? Did you listen? Did you listen?
You didn't
Did
watch
you
the
listen?
later
You
I
know it's real when
listened to
Aaron
the
What-
show.
is right.
What
Yeah.
game?
I'm not
What
joking.
game were you playing?
I
When
don't
you,
know.
just
when you
saying, no, I-
told when you told Rad you were angry with him on the beach, it broke my heart. You can't
You know
you
what,
can't
though?
say that sentence. right there.
I
Really
see what
go-
Amanda's saying
So we're
because
just like, oh, we ain't okay. He's
Too-
going on an anchor or trig. Okay.
God damn, all that talk
Too
about
oblivious.
wood.
Ladybug
think
says
he's
he taught you to make a
oblivious.
surfboard.
Surfboard. Thank you.
Honestly, okay, you gotta understand. Remember that little cross scale we made, and with like where we put our characters.
Oh, yeah.
Remember how I put like Snowball like in the opposite corner of everybody else.
Everybody, you're the only one in that corner. Right?
Yeah, because, like she don't even understand friendships. What do you mean she's gonna understand like flirting or anything beyond that? Y'all crazy.
I think you're both like that. I think that's why you may not have seen anything from Rad. I don't think Rad has any understanding as a sexual being or a romantic
Exactly.
being.
No.
He knows squid pies and my big turtle dad. Those are the two things.
Yeah.
That's it. Big turtle dad.
And a partridge and a pear tree. I like the energy that Aaron brought to Golden Dragon is the same energy Amanda brings to Thoughts and Prayers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
You know
Karma.
what? Fair.
Karma.
Very fair. You know what? Okay.
Thoughts and prayers, baby. Thoughts and prayers.
You
All
know
day,
what?
every day.
Bring it on. That's all I'll say. Season 2.
All right, Eli, take us home. What
Oh,
what's
hold
left?
on. We have to give our big fun announcement.
Go for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, me?
Yeah, you brought it up.
You want it up? You wanted to go.
We
I
said we were gonna do it, and then no one else
Wait.
is doing it.
Oh,
Wait,
we're
let
wrap-
me-
we're wrapping up.
What
Wait,
are
let
we
me re
announcing?
let me
Say.
let me
ahead.
ghost
Oh.
myself.
Oh.
Why are you?
Okay.
Oh, that
Aaron has given up the ghost, as it were, to say that we in September are going to begin playing Orpheus with Vince from Black Project Gaming. You will have all 7 of us as players, and Vince running Orpheus. Orpheus is is in the same world as Vampire the Masquerade and the Werewolf game and all of those games that I'm not entirely familiar with, but I'm very excited to learn about. Where we will all be spooky ghosts. It'll be sometime late September. As we said, Vince from Black Project Gaming is going to be running it for us. You can see him. Sergio, you're running a one shot. shortly?
Yeah,
Yes.
next week we'll be running a one-shot with Eli and Vince and a couple other folks. And the cool thing about our Orpheus campaign is technically our goal is to run the entire arc. I think there's 6 of them, Vince has explained. So, you know, we are committing to trying to, for the next year and a half, get through this Orpheus campaign. No one has ever done it before, so we are looking forward to taking that trophy. And we hope to have an amazing game.
We're also looking to introduce you guys to Vince. Those who don't know him, which was silly if you know us and don't know Black Project Gaming, that seems insane to me. You should fix that. But also, we may be doing a little stream next Friday with Vince and a handful of us, whoever's available. Just pretty chill games, friendship, and getting y'all used to seeing an 8th face here.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And as always, we have our weekly Twitch streams with Aaron at the Street Farm on Mondays, Sergio and Starforge on Tuesdays. Leg, are we back with Heroes You Should Know?
It'll be back sometime soon. I have weird family stuff going on right now, unfortunately, that may or may not affect it. I will keep you guys updated as I am, but don't worry, it's not gone forever. We'll be coming back very, very soon.
Yep. Check us out on Fridays. We're going to be doing more stuff like this, playing games, doing random one-shots. We have a couple stuff coming up in the future, so check our Twitter. And if you like us and want to keep supporting us, please join us on Patreon. We got a Discord and some awesome stuff. We're actually running a thing right now where we have stickers, and we want to give you a sticker.
Yes.
And if you want a sticker, come and join us on Patreon. Look, there's stickers right there.
pretty.
Look how beautiful they are. They're so
You notice
nice.
I made it like in the background.
Yeah, if you join us by September 22nd, you'll get one of these awesome stickers and stuff like that. So come and join us on Patreon, and all your contributions continue to help us keep making awesome content for you. And I think that's it, guys. Thank you.
money.
Or subscribe here on
Subscribe
Twitter,
to
or
us.
Twitch,
Yes,
not Twitter,
follow us
Twitch.
on Twitch and stuff like that. Wherever you want to find us on your podcast, you can find us there. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your Friday, and we'll see you guys soon.
Good night, guys.
Good
Good
night.
Dragon Turtle!
Dragon.